In recent op-eds and media commentary, MLI Senior Fellow and former CRTC Commissioner Peter Menzies warned that Canada's long march towards violating Charter rights to free expression continues apace. Heritage Minister Stephen Guilbeault's recent minor strategic retreat on regulating individual social media posts notwithstanding. Guilbeault's campaign to control the internet is wide-reaching. Not satisfied with cracking down on hate speech and child pornography, both of which are already illegal, he promises action against words or ideas that people, including politicians, find hurtful. Indeed, under the plan proposed by the Heritage Minister in Bill C-10, this very video would be subject to government review and potential censorship. Guilbeault has insisted that, among other things, a new government regulator needs the radical power to subject online content to the same sorts of stifling regulations that weigh on Canada's broadcasters. He believes that this regulator needs the ability to take down web pages and even entire websites so as to, in his view, preserve democracy. George Orwell would have been proud of such doublespeak. Far from preserving democracy, Menzies argues that Bill C-10, as proposed, doesn't just infringe on free expression. It constitutes a full-blown assault upon it, and through it, the foundations of democracy. Under this new law, a government regulator would watch, review, and potentially take down any content that offends against the aims, tastes, and preferences of the bureaucratic guardians of the day. Guilbeault's recent announcement that personal social media posts would be exempted should be taken with a very large grain of salt. He has said he will put into the draft bill assurances that will clarify that what he has already insisted for a week is already protected when it is clearly not protected under the language of the bill as it stands. Given the minister's stubborn insistence that the legislation is nothing to worry about, he must work much harder to regain Canadians' trust. Not only should his amendment do much more than clarify the integrity of Canadians' right to free speech and expression, but he must also reveal how the CRTC will be instructed to regulate the internet before this bill is passed. So far, he is sticking with his unacceptable promise to disclose this only after Bill C-10 receives royal assent. Not only does this proposed legislation threaten Canadians' basic rights, but it's also completely unworkable. The government seems to believe that the public sector can manage online behavior more effectively than is already being done by the private social media platforms who would fall under the law's control. Facebook and Twitter deal with millions of complaints daily, hundreds of millions annually. Ditto for Google, which recently reported it declined to act on a complaint from a Canadian politician demanding the removal of a blog critical of his policies. But under Bill C-10, the government, ever the guardian of the public good, will have to hire hundreds, if not thousands, of supporting bureaucrats just to answer the mail. And while hate and harm are not new and are already defined in the criminal code and civil law, hurt feelings are highly subjective matters of which the law properly takes no notice. Making hurt feelings a cause for government action and censorship opens a vast vista of vain but harmful efforts by bureaucrats to police Canadians' views and opinions. This dynamic adds to the complexity of differentiating between the trivial, the ticked off, and the truly troubling. Bullying, stalking, and racist abuse are already matters on which police can or could act. But if Ottawa has its way, trivial matters of personal disagreement could be elevated to the scornful review of activist bureaucrats. Guilbeault's first assault on the internet freedom that Canadians have enjoyed for 3 decades is already well underway. Bill C-10 would provide the CRTC with the power to rule over the entirety of the online world, including, should it choose to do so, news, magazines, and religious commentary. Assuming C-10's passage, all communication on the internet in Canada will take place only with the state's permission, with the possible exception of personal social media posts. Worse still, few in the media and in the opposition benches are taking this matter seriously enough and objecting strenuously enough, which leaves voices like MLI to speak up for freedom of expression, conscience, and common sense while we still can. I'm Brian Lee Crowley for the Macdonald Laurier Institute.